Last year, more people chose Trinity Health System for cancer care than any hospital in the region. But it's not just how many cancer patients we see that makes a difference. It's how many we send home to their families. And isn't that what really matters? Tony Terramana Cancer Center at Trinity Health System.
Hey, welcome to Week 9 of the Star Sportscast. I'm here with Brent Sobleski, Fred Janis. We're once again sponsored by Damon's Grill and Sports Bar at beautiful downtown Damon's in Steubenville. Boys, it's Week 9. It's not like it's flown by at all, has it? Just
Wait. Check 1, 2. Check. Okay, look, I feel better.
I don't know.
I feel better now.
You know what? We are so much brighter.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well,
this is how ugly I really am in real life.
It's bad stuff, man. You should. Oh, it's bad. Anyway.
So, Week 9.
Week 9. Rumor has there's a really big game at Harding Stadium. Massillon's coming to town.
I don't know what you're
That's
talking
the story. And I've also heard rumors that, you know how Duke has Kraszewskiville? There's now Sakachville. Because people are...
Kraszewskiville is Sakachville.
Because people have already lined up because this place is going to be rocking and rolling. 2 years ago when they were here, Big Red just basically ran them down the throat. It's 113-3. Outgained them 223-23 on the ground. 18-6 in first downs. They go to Massillon last year and lose 28-7 because they turned the ball over 6 times. So there's a really good chance we know what they can't do Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying. You don't want to lose the turnover battle. I mean, that's an obvious statement to say about the game going forward. Big Red is playing a very big, very fast Massillon football team. They're 7-1. Their only loss is the Canton Glen Oak, who is 7-1. So there's no shame in the loss Massillon has right now. There's a lot of pressure on this game as far as playoff points. That'll be, if they win this game, they pretty much lock up the number 1 seed, I think.
Absolutely.
The number 1 seed. And then, they need to come out and basically they need to establish that running game. They need to keep Massillon's offense off the field. And with the added pressure of, I know they're not talking about it, win 300. Coach Suckage.
He didn't say that, Coach.
Yeah, I didn't say it.
But
that is on the line coming into this game as Coach Suckage sits at 299, and you know the kids know about it even if they're not talking about it.
Yep.
So there's a lot going on in this game.
And then we look at the flip side of the coin on with Massillon, and quite frankly, I'm pretty pumped because I'm going to have the best seat in the house come Friday.
On the sidelines, man.
Be down on the sidelines enjoying this one. But you know me, I like to do a little bit of research when it comes to recruiting and the type of talent teams have. And we're looking last night, and this is not your stereotypical Massillon team. I couldn't find one kid rated in the top 200 in the state. It doesn't mean they're not talented, don't get me wrong, but usually there's that one key guy, like Chad Kelly last week, that you're really looking and aiming towards building your defense around, seeing who you're game planning against, who you want to take away. Well, guess what? They're pretty good all over. They just don't have that marquee name. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, so we'll see come Friday.
I think there might be about 10,000, 11,000 people there, just to guess.
Oh, that's going to be nuts.
Just to guess. And then pretty much right down the road at Kettlewell, another quote-unquote playoff game is going on because Buckeye visits Indian Creek. Indian Creek is in week 2 of the 3-week playoff run. They took care of Ferry last week. They need to take care of a Buckeye local team that you could call them a snake bit. They're 5-3. 3 losses are by a total of 6 points.
Yeah.
And obviously Buckeyes coming in, they're not going to be in the playoffs. They have 2 weeks left in their season, but spoiler, spoiler alert. And that would be big for Anthony Barsh's team.
Well, this is that time of year. You're either talking playoffs or you're talking spoiler, or in some cases maybe a win.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later. And talking to Coach Barsh last night, their key is they really want to be 7-3. That would be a fantastic season for Buckeye. And yes, it's disappointing to lose the games that they have by less than 6 points, 3 games, which is an unbelievable margin. It's fascinating.
Less than 6 points, 4 + 1 + 1 is 6 last time I checked. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Whatever, it's not many points.
That's why you were a history major, not
exactly.
a math major.
Algebra's not my thing. I said that last time. But we know the biggest thing for me that came out of last week's very tough loss to St. Clairsville was Pergolini. the fullback. We've talked about Jocelyn Deere every single week. Well, it was Pergolini who had 100 yards rushing against the Red Devils, and he's the one that kept that offense going when they took away Deere. So from their aspect, how they're going to run the football with the two of them against Indian Creek is going to be fun to watch.
You'll be there.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually looking forward to this one. Honestly, I think that the key to this game for Buckeye Local is going to have to be their passing attack. I mean, you know what you have with Deere. You know what they've added with Pergolini in the running game. One-dimensional teams that just run the ball, ask Martins Ferry, don't do too well against Indian Creek in their defense. That's what they've been dominant against teams like that. And if A.J. Barsh can't hit those the play-action pass to Eisenhood and whoever else, especially Eisenhood because he's their biggest threat, it's going to be a long night for them because Indian Creek will come up and they will shut down that run because they are that good defensively.
Yep. And Indian Creek's going to hit one or two of those passes themselves.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, Kemp DeFerta has been a pretty good combination.
We always never say Alex Young that much either. And last week he had a big catch.
He had a big catch. All right, we're going to go from Kettlewell to beautiful downtown 100 West Virginia because Toronto needs to make that just lovely drive. And Toronto gets a win. They need to make sure they don't look past 100 to get to Madonna because obviously Week 10 is a huge game for them. I expect Toronto to take care of this. Short and sweet. It's pretty obvious. They're better than 100. They should go to 6-3 and pretty much behind Thompson. And we're not sure if Mossy's playing, but behind Thompson and King and Joey Chadwick did a really good job.
And McGee woke up last week.
He hit that big run. You have to pretty much have to like Toronto taking care of business quickly this week.
That sums it up pretty
good.
Pretty
good. All right, we're going to bring in Matt from Damon's, who just basically, while you were gone, had the funniest line of the year couple weeks ago. So
we've already
no. See, you are irreplaceable. Well, rumor has it. Matt, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, thank you. Well, we just want to invite everybody to come in for all their fall sports actions. Of course, we got the pro and the college teams. Everybody's come to follow and love, and we also have the Pittsburgh Penguins now that their season is cranked up, and the World Series starts tomorrow night, and so come and see the Reds and this is the time capsule edition, right? That we're doing
exactly.
The weekly edition, and come see the Rangers and the Cardinals. Come for whatever brings you down here. We'd love to see you.
Thanks, Matt. We appreciate it, buddy. There's still baseball, and there's a really good chance not one game.
Thank you, sir.
Not one game is going to be a 1-0 pitching duel. Just saying. Speaking of another, I call it a no-brainer. Union Local's going to Harrison. Harrison still has Rasheed Mitchell. Harrison still has Martise Hython. Harrison still has Oscar Schur and Hyde and some really good athletes. And UL's 0-8, and I expect UL to be 0-9.
Union Local doesn't stop the run. Martise Hython runs the ball well.
Game over.
Yeah, it's almost 1,000 yards for Martise. And talking to Coach Kropka last night, it's been such an up and down season for Harrison, gentlemen. I mean, they've gone through
a lot.
I'm trying to keep it nice, but it's just a tough season from not just on the field and off the field. And Coach said he's emotionally spent, the team's emotionally spent. So I don't expect them to lose this game, but this could be the type of pick-me-up they really need at this point.
Exactly, because it's been a couple tough weeks.
Absolutely.
I mean, losing 22-20 to Creek, which you knew that was a playoff game. Everyone knew that was a playoff game for Creek. Everyone knew that was a possible catch game for Creek, and and you got to give Creek credit though. They took care of it. They took care of business, and week 2 of their 4-week playoff march was good. So, and now we have.
It's fun mentioning that P word.
Yeah. Playoffs. Okay, sorry.
Playoffs.
We're at Brook.
Hey.
Ooh, what?
They are who they thought would. No, I messed it up.
They are who we thought they were.
See, I didn't want to pay Green the extra money for
whatever you
trademarking.
That's way past your head. That's way over your pay grade and way over all of our pay grade. We're at Brook. Look, it's just a mismatch. We understand that. Mm-hmm. But Brook took care of business last week, beating the Parkersburg South League. That was ranked 10 in the state. Beat them 12-10. Probably wasn't very pretty at 12-10, but who cares? A win's a win. They take care of Weir High this week. That puts them at 4-4. And they have 2 weeks to make the playoffs because if they go 6-4, Brook's in the playoffs. And I'm not sure anybody would have thought of that in week 4.
No. I'm thinking to myself, Brook basically lost every aspect of that game last week except for the scoreboard, and that's what the most important thing is. But then we look at this week, and it's going to be they're going to win every statistical category, and they're going to be able to run the ball, and we'll see how Buck Melder does at quarterback. And on the Weir side of things, I know there's been a bit of a rallying cry, as you wrote about recently, from Coach Kexio, and this team's not giving up. There might be some players that have along the way. We don't know, but I know the team itself is not giving up, and they're going to play hard.
I mean, I like what Coach Kexio is doing over there at Weir, but this is not a get healthy game. It's really not. I mean, but hopefully they'll just come out, play with some heart, and maybe they'll surprise us even just by being in the game this week.
They just can't pack it in. You're just not allowed to pack it in. Period.
We didn't mention the elephant. 70-6
last year.
Yes.
Game over. Blue Dons coming off a nice win against Clarksburg Notre Dame. They got to go to Fairmont State and play number 2 ranked Wahama, who's undefeated. Madonna picked up a nice defensive win last week. I talked to Coach Taylor last night. He said they're doing a much better job on the defensive end compared to what they did early in the season. But they're facing a Wahama team that is averaging almost 55 a game.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of activity on your defense right there.
Madonna's defense is going to have to come to play this week, and obviously Wahama is an explosive offense, but even more than that, their offense is going to have to get moving behind Comus and the running back Osman. They're going to have to keep Wahama off the field, not turn the ball over. They had a couple issues. They had an issue early where they threw an interception against Clarksburg and kept Clarksburg in the game early before they finally pulled away from them. They cannot do that against Wahama because they'll find themselves down 3 touchdowns fast.
You can't.
It's a tough game for Madonna.
I agree. It is a tough game for Madonna. And like Coach Taylor said, he said the P word last night too. Because we've got 3 weeks of playoff games, but the other 2 mean nothing except for this one.
Right.
And and you wanted to play one of the better teams in the state. Here you go.
Yeah. Well, this is the type of game where your best players step up. And Fred mentioned the key name, which is Ross Comus. And none of us like to put that much pressure on one kid.
Especially a sophomore.
But he hasn't played like a sophomore. He's completing passes at near 65% clip.
Yeah.
He's making the plays when he has to. He's probably the best runner on the team. And guess what? Those big wins, he's making interceptions too at safety.
Yeah, he's playing well.
If he can keep that up, absolutely. So if he can keep that up and that running game stays on track, even with some injuries, they got a shot.
But don't forget, this is his second year playing safety. His first year playing quarterback because he started last year as a freshman playing safety. So he's at least had 11 games under his belt as safety plus 7, 18 games under his belt as safety. Yeah,
carry the
trust
2.
me on that. 1, 2.
I can't pull my toes out. My shoes are tied.
All right, Saturday afternoon, Edison goes to Nelson Field taking on Bel Air. Spencer Medea got hurt, but rumor has it he will be in action. He'll be back behind the center playing quarterback for Bel Air. Obviously, both teams playing for pride, playing to finish the season on a high note. This is a game. It's not easy to win at Nelson Field. Point blank. I don't care who's there. It doesn't matter who's there. It's not easy to win at Nelson Field. Edison needs to find a way to get it done. And what do you think?
I mean, I think this could be one of the funner games to watch this weekend. I mean, Edison and Bel Air going toe-to-toe. They both score a lot of points. Edison does have trouble against the run, but Bel Air doesn't run the ball. I mean, there's your...
Did he say funner?
Funner.
More fun.
Or more fun.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, let's be honest, Fred.
I'm sorry, thesaurus.
Hey, look, I can't even quote people correctly. So. But look, last night we were doing our weekly football forecasters, and me and Fred are sitting there looking at each other, agonizing on who we think is going to win this game. That's how closely tight we think it's going to to be played. Yes, I said closely tight. I put myself back in the
issues this week.
But in the end, I think both of us believe that home field advantage means a lot in this game.
I think we need a hooked on phonics jar. Really,
Look for me.
Do. And the last game Saturday night at Harding. This is going to be really interesting. I'm of the opinion. Oak Glen goes to Central. Central got on Britton Colabelle threw the ball really well last week. Central's 3-5. They have a chance to go 5-5. They have a chance to go 5-5. And let's face it, not many people around thought Central could go 5-5. And Oak Glen, on the other hand, is 7-1. I think they're 10th in the state. And they're playing really good football right now. Their defense is playing really good football right now. And I think they're going to pressure Brenton to no end and make him make plays. What do you think?
I mean, this game, for me, I see Oak Glen. This could be a catch game for Oak Glen. They seem that they had that issue last year where that one game they gave up. Their defense looked good, but their offense didn't look all that impressive this past week against East Liverpool. They really struggled. They almost lost that game to a not very good East Liverpool team. Central got their passing game going this past week. Brent Colbella showed that blazing speed on his touchdown run. That
was all slow motion.
But no, I honestly, now this might just be the Crusader in me, but I think this could be a trap game. I think Central has a good chance of winning this game, but they have to watch out for that play action pass with Hissam.
That blue is
I'm bleeding a little bit.
He's bleeding a little blue right now.
I don't know. We've been talking about a lot of red coming out of him lately, but that's another newsroom story there.
That's 'cause
But in my opinion, the one thing we talk about every single week is athletes. Who has the best athletes? And it's Oak Glen in this case. You have McDowell, who's a fantastic athlete at quarterback, and Hissom, who can outrun almost anyone in the valley. So how do you match up against those guys? And it's going to be tough for Central.
All right, we're done. Trivia question. Please email your answer to sports@heraldstaronline.com to receive a gift certificate from Damon's. The trivia question is, what was the last 2 scores against Big Red Massillon? Last year's score and the score in 2009. Email the correct answers and get yourself some food, which these two really like a lot.
Later. Very good. Very
food.
Good.